There you go. We talked about these quarterfinals. Right now we're doing the top 10 moments, Charles, that shape the 8 teams remaining in 6A's season. Now there's a lot of moments that we discussed, one of them being the Rio Rancho Cleveland matchup. That was big time because Rio Rancho gets the overall 1 seed because of it. Cleveland now has been ousted because of it. It was a big moment. So now we're up to the top 5 moments.
My 5 moment was one that we probably wouldn't even have predicted. How big was that Cruces volcano win? Last second victory for Cruces. So at number 5, the play that shaped pretty much Cruces' season right now, because remember they had that 3-game skid. This last second catch by Aeneas Reynolds. Look at this, back of the end zone. Game-winning touchdown from Cam Miller.
Now, yeah, remember that was Cam Miller, not Sam Ellis, who's taken over for injured Cam Miller. A loss to Volcano Vista would have been detrimental. Maybe Cruces doesn't make the field because of this.
Finished. Well,
remember, they were seeded 9 of 12.
If the season plays out how it went, they lose 4 straight. That's 4 straight. You're talking under 500, a good chance they're not making the tournament. So that is a big-time play on their season.
No doubt about it in my mind, and Cruces obviously is playing at a different level now. They have had some injured players return. It has made them stronger. They've also had more injuries leave, so it's just back and forth. I don't know where to place Cruces.
They've been banged up all year.
Well, we've talked about it all year. You place Cruces with Jim Miller, head coach. Look, when late November rolls around, for some reason, Cruces, Mayfield, and Clovis seem to always find their way, regardless.
So I'm going to re-loop this tomorrow.
You're going to re-loop this tomorrow. I've been saying it all year, and I haven't even...
I'm going to see if you're going to go out on a limb and pick those teams.
I just
don't see you going to do it.
You know where I stand.
Yeah.
Okay?
What do you got for? What do we got for 4?
Okay, at 4, it's, well, back-to-back weeks, El Dorado had tough games.
Yeah.
We showed you that Mayfield one. Well, this was El Dorado in their win against Cleveland High School. This was from Wilson Stadium, and it was a 2-point conversion from Zach Gentry that won it. In 30 seconds left to go, back-to-back weeks, Gentry fall forward for 9 yards, right?
Same play, 6'9", 240 pounds. That's a pretty simple call right there.
Look at that score. The final, I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous. 57-56 the final, 2 weeks in a row. That really shaped El Dorado's season.
2 weeks in a row, it set the tone for the type of season they were going to have. They're cruising into district play. Everyone's thinking, wow, El Dorado's going to get that 2nd seed at least. We know for a fact because they're going to go through that district. But I think there's a game-changing play on this list that's going to halt all of that. Okay. Cleveland, by the way, we were talking about how they were looking ahead, looking over Cibola. El Dorado
they win that game and they're in a bye.
But they did nothing to stop Cleveland. El Dorado let them march up and down the field the entire night, so they were confident going in.
Cleveland wins that game against El Dorado, and they have a bye, and we're not even talking about the upset against Cibola right now.
Not at all.
Cleveland kind of messed themselves
Which is a great segue for my number 3 play.
Okay, what's your number 3
play?
My
number 3 play, Mr. All-Everything, Jacob Smith, had a big return. So Cibola come out, they punch Cleveland in the mouth. Can Cleveland respond?
Well, they do.
They respond, and you're thinking, oh, we got a game, 28-14. They kick it to Mr. Smith. Watch this spin move right here. Oh, excuse me, broken tackle. He's going to cruise it out to the sideline. My man can run. So Jacob Smith, kudos to you, young man. Game-changing play. That pretty much broke the back of Cleveland, I thought.
It was. That was it. I mean, Cleveland made it a 2-possession game, and Jacob Smith does what he does. Unofficially, it was an 82-yard return.
I like
Fantastic. Fantastic job.
He's on here every week.
Yes.
I'm still wondering why people kicking. Why they keep
Smith.
Kicking to him?
You know, we weren't talking about Jacob Smith until halfway through the year, and he just made play after play after play after play. So congratulations to Jacob Smith. Charles, now we've talked about El Dorado twice, right? In positive ways.
And we just had special teams on there, right?
So we've got to talk about El Dorado again. Their 3rd week in a row taking on now La Cueva in their district opener. No problems, right?
That's what we thought.
That's what we thought. Yeah. So El Dorado heavily favored, and it was La Cueva who kicks a field goal last second of the game and wins it 17-14. The La Cueva Bears, right off that foot of Cub Turcotte, gets it done.
Had the worst game you could possibly have leading up to that kick.
Right there.
So he gave up the punt. Remember, he had the muff punt. He missed a couple field goals. So you're thinking confidence-wise, the kid has to be thinking about all the mistakes he's made, and he came in, boots a game-winning field goal.
That was huge. Now, La Cueva had already lost twice. Once to Las Cruces at Las Cruces, and once to Rio Rancho. Hold on that. we thought El Dorado had their district wrapped up and the 1 seed wrapped up with a win. Well, El Dorado's lone loss drops them all the way from a 1 to a 4.
Yeah.
And so that's a big difference, and La Cueva was able to get in that top 4 just because of that win in their district win. It was huge.
I mean, not just from a 1 to a 4, but a 4. Now you're matched up on the toughest side of the bracket. When we broke the bracket down, we said El Dorado, if you're sitting there, you're a little sad saying, wow, look at this side of the bracket. Because the bottom side of the bracket was a little softer. No disrespect to the teams out there. But that top side of the bracket, you had some really high-powered offenses up there. And now El Dorado, instead of seeing Cleveland, they're going to see Cibola. But I think Cibola still got something to prove, man. I think I'm buying into it. I'm buying.
Is that what you're picking tomorrow?
I'm buying. Slow down. We got a whole day.
Okay. Well, I can't wait to see that one. Charles, what do you got? You got the
number
one.
one.
What do you got?
You know I didn't pick this list because I would not have this at number 1. Number 1, I wanted field goal first and Rio Rancho second. I got number 1, Rio Rancho, big-time win over La Cueva. Actually, it is a pretty good one because it established Rio Rancho's dominance for the year. It demonstrated that they can play defense, not just offense. And then Akaika Waters, everyone finally figured out how bad of a man he is. So at play number 1, that Rio Rancho La Cueva game.
Well, look, I was about to mention everything you just mentioned. You talked yourself into it. That's why it's so important, is Rio Rancho asserted themselves, and the state found out that they were for real, not just offensively, but defensively. And there was no defense against Brady Patterson. This was on a very, very cold September night. It felt like a November-type game.
Really windy, too. I remember that night.
And Rio Rancho was solid all the way through. So that's the number 1 moment that kind of shaped this season for the Rio Rancho Rams, the overall 1 seed. So that leads you, Charles, into that Rio Rancho Las Cruces battle at Rio Rancho High tomorrow night.
There's no mystery there. You know what's going to happen. Cruz is going to come out and try to pound it. Rio Rancho is going to come and try to throw the ball across the field.
CU does their job better, right?
Can they cover all those weapons?
Adrian Ortega awaits, head coach of the Trisco Heritage Jaguars. He'll be on next. Stick around. You're watching uSports Central.